I made this potato head inspired 3D model in Fusion 360, and I'm gonna go ahead and coat the body with forged carbon fiber. So I've got some fabric ready for that. The first step, I just need to take out the pieces that are not getting carbon fibered. So we've got just the body, and this I need to coat in resin so that I can let it get a little bit tacky. And then I'll be able to stick the forged carbon fiber fabric on there, hopefully. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, here we go. Gotta love these chip brushes. There's always a few loose fibers, even if you remove all the fibers beforehand, or at least try to. Because I printed this in a black filament, it's super easy to just add the resin and add the carbon fiber, and anything that shows through will show up as black anyways, so it will just be basically invisible. If your surface is not black, then you do have to paint it or something to make it a dark background. Otherwise, you could definitely end up with some areas showing through, unless you do a really, really thick coat with the forged carbon fiber, which doesn't make any sense to do. So just start with the dark surface is what I always go for. And also this filament, it's matte fiber HDPLA by Protopasta. So it has these fibers mixed in that make it a little bit porous almost. So resin, glue, all that type of stuff sticks really well. So I didn't even have to rough it up, sanding or anything. It's just ready for resin. And that is a lot of bristles coming out of this chip brush. That's fantastic. Alright, that's about that. Once I get out another bristle. Yep, you just need to cure. Have fun. It's cured for a while. It's getting tacky at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and try with the carbon fiber. It's a little bit thin on the front. I had it curing lying down, so hopefully it'll be enough. Beautiful. So it tears nicely with this jagged edge here, so that should blend in pretty well. Okay. Oh gosh, that's super sticky. Okay, so I need to use this. So the back side is super sticky. I hope this front side is sticky enough. Yeah, I don't think it is. So I think I'm going to have to add more resin to the front. Yeah, that's not sticky enough yet. Okay. I'm going to give this all on a regular edge here. Let's just do the back then. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be like. So the resin I was using was a little bit too thin, I guess, but the back where it's thick and sticky, that's working quite well, as I had hoped, but some of these other areas not so much. Yeah, this is super messy. Okay. I guess I'm gonna just try adding some more resin out of the cup. You can see it's kind of like honey, not even thick honey right now. But maybe that will still kind of get the job done. I don't know. I do not know. I think I should have done this probably one side at a time. I think that's where I went wrong. Because this is just a mess. Oh well. If I put a little cut right there, actually I probably could have just torn it. I forgot. Yeah, I can just loosen that up a little bit, break that backing just enough to let it settle into the shape of the potato. Okay. Let's try to get some stuck on the nose. I'm gonna Add some extra resin. Let's just make it all gooey here and see what sticks. I don't like that hard edge, so I'm gonna just tear that off. Maybe I can vacuum bag it. I don't know. Yeah. This is not working very well. And it is user error, I believe. Okay, that worked a lot better. So a thinner strip, well, that makes sense, doesn't it? Because it's a rounded shape. Good job. Okay, you figured it out. Shouldn't have been so difficult. So maybe if I just go ahead and put Peel-Ply on here where I'm done, so I don't mess it up while I'm trying to do the other side, maybe I'll be able to do that. Maybe. I'm gonna add a little bit there first though. Not technically Peel-Ply, it's actually just painter's plastic, but it's what I had at hand, so that's what we're gonna go with. So I'm gonna just carefully grab it by that. It's definitely not like stretchy when you're trying to put this fabric down. It's really easy to kind of tear it to make a, like a, I can't think of the word, a seam line, relief cut, that's what it is. It's easy to make a relief cut just by tearing it a little bit. And you can't really tell at all where you've done anything like that once it's all together because it's tearing between the fibers here, not across the fibers. So it keeps these kind of chunks together, so that keeps it looking good, in my opinion. And I like it best when you can still see the fibers. So after this cures, like once I properly put on all the carbon, and let it cure, I'm probably gonna just sand into it and have that bare carbon fiber finish. I love that. It's so pretty. It really features, oh hey, it stands. It really features the carbon fiber in all of its artistic type beauty. I mean, it wouldn't be the most practical if you're trying to have like a car part or something, because when it is sanded raw like that, like just the bare carbon, it will darken, for example, from like the oils on your fingers and whatnot, but it kind of reminds me of leather in that way, where leather kind of ages in a cool way. So I don't mind that aspect of it. But again, I'm approaching it much more from an artistic standpoint than a purely practical one. Although most of the time, if you're using forged carbon fiber like this look, it's for a cosmetic reason, let's be honest. I mean, yes, originally it was designed or invented, I guess, for specific applications where regular woven carbon fiber wasn't as good or couldn't perform exactly those like complex shapes and whatnot. But I think we've entered a new era where it's primarily just really beautiful. So my goal is to feature the cosmetic side. And I've seen people say, you know, it's kind of like chipboard. You wouldn't feature chipboard. That's just a cheap alternative to proper wood. But chipboard isn't really manufactured to be beautiful. Now, it could be. And so for me, I don't think that that's really a good comparison. And it depends on how you're finishing it too. and kind of the quality of the fibers that you're using. Like this one is really nice because you have these big wide fibers as opposed to it being, okay, so if you take a pot of resin and you mix in a whole bunch of carbon fiber, it does not look like this. Yeah, it would be more useful for kind of squeezing into a mold like as a paste, but it's not the same thing at all. This is the cosmetic side of things, and I don't have a problem with that. Sometimes things can just exist to be beautiful. Oh boy. That's just about it. I think I need just a little bit more here maybe. But I'm gonna need some of this resin because I did not piece this together very well. I don't like puzzles actually. My dad does, but for me that's just a little bit silly. Like you take a beautiful picture and you cut it up into little pieces and then somebody gets to stick it back together and it never looks as good as before it was chopped up. Like that aspect of puzzles just ruins it for me. There it is, just super raw, barely stuck on. But I'm gonna go ahead and just leave it on this plastic. And I'm gonna try to use this plastic to also press it down a little bit. Let's see if that works. Everything is so incredibly sticky. I might regret using this plastic. I know it can be really hard to peel off because it's so thin. Yeah, so we're gonna pause for now. Almost forgot. Actually, that's not where I'm gonna stop. I've added tape all over it. And this way I can add just a little bit of pressure around all these areas and hopefully have it stick down best as possible. I could put it in a vacuum bag, but I want to test how it is without and just see what happens. So now we just let this guy cure. Yeah, this plastic was not a good idea. It's just such a thin plastic that even though it's not technically permanently adhered to the resin, it still is just tearing. So this is going to be lots of fun to remove. I just got tired of scraping at some point and decided that I'm going to go ahead and put on another coat of resin. And then once there is resin protecting the parts that are good, I'll be able to sand away the parts that still have this flaky plastic that I couldn't get off in one piece. So I have some resin mixed up. This is the Total Boat Thickset Fathom. It's a casting resin, but it's very nice and clear. You never have to worry about it overheating in the pot because it cures so slowly. All right. Okay, so I have a few different brushes. I've not tried these before, but I got these because I'm thinking that they might, well, they won't have bristles, obviously, so they might be better than the bristle brush. And these foam ones, they're just so big and they put tons of like little air bubbles into the resin if you go like this. So I don't love those. I'm gonna try this. I think it's for cleaning like in between the grates of a car, like where the vents are or something. I don't know, but I'm gonna try this. This is all ready to go resin. So yeah, let's see what this is like. I don't know. It's still putting lots of bubbles in, but I guess brushes do too, so. I think ultimately I just prefer using my fingers. I don't know if that's weird. I'm already wearing gloves, so What's the difference? Now, it is a very slow curing resin, the casting resin, but that doesn't mean I want to actually wait a long time. So, this is my curing cooler. There is a heating pad inside. And for small projects anyways, speeds it up a whole lot. I'm gonna put this on a little cup so there's less of it touching the surface. This will be fine. I mean, this side I'm gonna have to do a lot of work anyway, so I'm gonna just put that on here. And hopefully be able to get this looking a whole lot better. Fix all the problems I created for myself. So, now we wait. And after a whole bunch of sanding, there's what I've got. There's certainly a lot of plastic showing through because there were some parts that the fabric was not stuck down properly. But where it did stick down looks cool.